Carl Hinder. I'm the business coach with Salon Help, and I promised you a coaching session or a mini coaching session every week to make sure that you can move your business forward. Okay, don't forget to check the description and the links as well when I've finished this. Now, I'm going to talk to you about retailing, or at least a part of it. There are going to be other sessions where we talk about why you should sell them and all that kind of thing. But quite often, the barrier that salon spa and clinic owners come up with is they say, Carl, I just can't afford them. I can't afford to go out and buy them. Or the other thing you tell yourself is, I can't afford to have that money tied up on a shelf. Now, the second one is only true if you're not very good at helping clients. Yeah, if you're not very good at helping clients with products, then yeah, it's gonna sit there. Okay, you're not helping the client and you're not helping yourself. So yes, you have stock tied up. But in terms of having money to outlay at the beginning, then that's a myth because you don't need a lot of money. Now, if you go to a supplier, of course, they want you to put up front 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000, okay? Pounds or dollars, sure. That takes a bit of planning and it takes a bit of investment. I'm not even telling you to do that. What I'm trying to say to you is retailing is so important to your business because the profit is huge and the impact on customer service is huge, then really avoiding it. And I know you've got all the other reasons, but we're not doing all of those in this session. The one I want to talk to you about is the one where you say, I can't afford the products in the first place, or I don't want the money tied up. Now, you can't afford the money in the first place because you're taking the wrong kind of approach. You're thinking there's a supplier out there who wants, two, three, four, £5,000 or $5,000 for all this stock, and that is okay. That's a bit of a burden, and it could be for your business. So I'm agreeing with you there. And in which case, you need to find a different approach, don't you? So I want to show you a way of thinking about this. So in this kind of session, we're going to do another session to talk about what you do with the revenue that you get from retail. And maybe I'll do that in the next one. But in this one, I want you to think of the beginning. Let's say you haven't got that £2,000 or $2,000 to start. Well, you have got £10. Okay, you have got £10 or $10. All right, or whatever currency it is that you're watching this YouTube channel. You've got this. And if you haven't got this, you can get it in your birthday card, in your Christmas card. You can borrow it, okay, off your wife, or I don't know, borrow it off your gran, okay, or whatever you've got to do. You could find £10. You could find $10. You absolutely could, right? If you disagree with that, put that in the comments. Now, the principle here is you take this £10. We'll stick with £10, but wherever country you're in, you'll get this. Okay, you take your £10, and what I want you to do, and I'm talking about this semi practically, but you'll get the idea. This is kind of metaphorically in a way. You just take £10 and you go to your local supplier. Now, your local supplier might be a warehouse, or it might be an online supplier. All right. It could be somewhere that sells your product. It could even be eBay. All right. I don't want to get too technical about your sources of products, but you find a source where you can take your £10 and you go and buy one product. Go and buy one bottle of shampoo. What do you do? Okay, so you get £10, you go off to the supplier and you say, here's my £10, give me one product. Okay, now they've got £10 and you've got one product. Go back to your salon, spa, or clinic and sell that item, let's say for £20. Okay, so £20. The client is giving you this. You are going to give the product to the client. Now you've got £20. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to jump back on eBay or the online supplier, or we're going back down the warehouse. Okay, we're going to have a little walk and we're going to say to the nice people there, okay, here's £20. Give me two products. And you give them £20. Okay. You go back to the salon, the spa or clinic, and you sell the two products. Now, when you sold these two products, okay, for £20 each, what have you got, guys? You got £40. Okay. So the following week, you go back down the warehouse with your £40 and you say, give me four products, please. Okay. Here's your £40 over there. All right. And I've got four products. And I go back to the salon with my four products and I sell those to the clients. Okay. We sell four products. What's that going to be, guys? It's going to be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, £80. Okay. So £80 I got now. Listen, I'm not going to do this all day. You get the idea. I'm now going to go to the online supplier. I'm now going to go down the warehouse with my £80. Okay. And I'm going to buy 8 bottles. I'm going to give them the £80. Now I got 8 bottles and I go back and I sell those. And what have I got now? Okay. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay. Okay. I've now got £160. Now, the point is this. A few weeks ago, I started off with £10 that I borrowed off my granny. Okay. I went and bought a product. I came back and I sold it. And then I went back again with the money that I used to sell and I kept buying products. Now we're using the same money. This is the important part. We don't put that money in the till and pay the electric bill. We take the money from the product and we go and buy more products. Now, if I do this every week, okay, we went from £10 and went up to 160 already. Now you could do that. You could think of that. That could be, we start off with £10. This is soon going to be 320. Then it's going to be 640. Okay, then it's going to be over £1,000. Now, if you want to go to your supplier now, okay, and go, I got £1,000. Then you do exactly the same. What you do is you give them the £1,000. They give you the products that you want, and then when you sell a product, you don't put it in the till. The money. You do put it in the till, but metaphorically, you don't put it in the till to pay the electric, water, or gas. Not at this stage. What you do is you put it aside and then you take that out. Okay. And then you phone up the supplier and you say, okay, I bought £1,000 worth of stock off you. I've sold it. I've now got 2,000. Can I buy £2,000 worth of stock, please? And that's how you start. Now there becomes a point, right? Maybe after a few months, you've sold £3,000 worth of stock, but now you only need £1,000 a week. So you've got £2,000. It's never left over in business, is it? You have £2,000 spare. You have £2,000 profit, guys. If you really want, you could go and put that in the till for the the electric bill, the water bill, okay, for your rent, for your rates. You could do whatever you want with it. Okay. But until you get to that point, keep using the same money to buy the product so that you are not tying up any money. Because you might say, oh, well, Carl, if I buy £160 worth of products a day, I'm tying up £160. No, you only started off with £10 the other day. The worst case scenario here is you're £10 down. Okay. It's the psychology of what you're doing. You can't say, I can't buy products because it ties up money when there is a perfectly good approach to it. Now, of course, I know if you're in a clinic, you'd be like, Carl, you'd be lucky if I could get a product for £10. It doesn't matter. The principle's the same. Let's say you got to buy a product and it's £50. Okay. Well, then you take that £50, I don't know, out of the till. You borrow it again off your granny. You put it on your credit card. You do whatever you got to do. And it's £50. And then you go down the warehouse or you jump online or you find a supplier and you buy the one product. Then you go back to your clinic and you sell it for £100. All right. And then what you do next week? You go back to the clinic, so you go back to the warehouse online with £100 and you buy two. Then you come back to the salon spa clinic and you sell it for £200. That money never existed. If you keep it separate, if you have the psychology, the mental approach, okay, it never ever existed in the first place. It's not money tied up. You are building a profit and you just don't know it. But you're not just building a profit. Just think of all the brilliant customer service that you've created that you wouldn't have otherwise. Because sending people to the local supermarket or telling them to get online to find the product isn't great service. Getting the advice from you on the product, how to use the product best, okay? How to get it really quickly, because there's nothing quicker than getting it from you in that moment. You don't want to be sending them to drive 5 miles or ordering the wrong thing online. So, if you want to help yourself, if you want to help your client, and I'm pretty sure that those two things go hand in hand, then that's all you need to start off with is just a little bit of cash, okay? And you build it up. Don't let the fear of investing huge amounts of money stop you from retailing. I understand if you're just starting out, you won't have huge amounts of cash. If you can, now you can apply any numbers you want to this. Maybe you've only got £200 to start off with. Great, buy 200, go back and sell 200. All right, so you now got 400. Then you go back and buy 400 and you go and sell it. So you got 800. Now, whilst we're doing that, there will be some dips in sales because you're not going to be able to stay in stock. But as you build this up, you will end up with more cash. Yeah, because profitability grows every week, right? Than you will for the stock you got to buy. You build this to £5,000, but you only actually need £1,000 of it, yeah, to build up your stock. Well, that £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 that's left over, that's profit. Now, profit that should go back into the business, probably, but it's profit all the same. So, depending on the rest of your business, maybe that's profit for a holiday. Maybe it's profit for you to have a break or take your family out or something like that. But all the same, it's profit based on minimal investment, based on a focus of customer service. So if that has been a barrier in your mind for not retailing, which has stopped you creating profitability, which has stopped you giving the best service to your clients, which has stopped you retailing, then here is the solution. Okay? Take your £10, take your $10 and grow it. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments in the description area or just after, and I'll answer them for you. There are going to be a lot more questions. There will be questions, but there'll also be a lot more videos around retailing. And I'll also leave a link for my retail book as well, in case you want to get a lot more in-depth information like this. Anyway, good to catch up with you. Thanks for being on the channel. Make sure you hit those notifications. Make sure that you subscribe because I don't want you to miss any of the interesting stuff that we're going to be doing on the channel. Great. Thanks for your support.